Good morning, people. So, we're going to try and go through this quick. I got a few things to do. Lawsuits pile up as Trump campaign alleges voter fraud in at least 5 states. This isn't going to be the only thing we talk about because we have more. I went through and I found the list of things being compiled. Is anyone archiving these Trump sycophants? Did she change the tweet? Maybe. Uh, for when they try to downplay or deny their complicity in the future. I foresee a decent probability of many deleted tweets, writings, photos in the future. LOL at the party of personal responsibility for being upset at the idea of being responsible for the behavior over the last 4 years. LOL at AOC for not realizing that compiling lists of people is a pretty fascist and horribly voter intimidation style thing to do. But hey, who cares, right? Lawsuits, again, they're still doing these lawsuits. We're still looking at lawsuits in, what is this, 5 states? Several cases in Pennsylvania. God, we have allegations in Nevada, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, and I would suspect probably North Carolina before all of this ends. But if Trump wins these lawsuits, he may very well win the election through litigation, which is the worry. Here's where we see how this comes out, right? So I'm going to turn on the audio and let you guys listen to this at exactly how many votes they believe. They're calling it fraudulently, but I don't think fraud is the right term here, because fraud implies some sort of intent. And I think it's, even if you can say the intent to deceive is there, you can't prove it. Maybe they thought X, Y, and Z. Maybe they thought these people were close enough to observe. Maybe they thought observing didn't mean, eyeballing each one. Who knows what they're going to claim? But let's watch.
Attorney and leading the efforts of the Trump campaign to establish some integrity in our voting system is Rudy Giuliani. Rudy, great to have you with us. Let's start with Pennsylvania and how it looks there for the lawsuit that you filed.
Well, I would say that it's a very, very powerful lawsuit. It demonstrates already that approximately 600,000 ballots were cast without any observation by Republicans, meaning mail-in ballots. So Pennsylvania elections are governed by the legislature, not the governor, not even the Congress. So the state legislature provided when these mail-in ballots were allowed.
Right.
Okay. We're not going to go too much deeper into that. Look up Rudy Giuliani's Twitter if you guys want to see the full 6-minute clip. 600,000 ballots were not allowed to be observed and could be invalidated in Pennsylvania. That's more than enough to swing that election or swing that state back across to Trump, assuming that they was separated out properly as they was ordered to do. After a bitterly divided America or election, what's next for America? And here's where you start seeing the problems crop up. Penn Jillette says he wants Joe Biden to be a hero, to heal the nation, to bring people together so they don't make fun of Trump supporters. Please, Joe, make me embarrassed to say anything bad about Trump supporters. But then you get into the rest of them, and we can just sum up everybody else's opinion with this one. The fact that nearly half of the Americans who voted chose Trump is telling. The last 4 years have held a mirror up to this country face, and the ugly reflection will be unyielding until we do something to fix it. Over 70 million people still voted for or didn't care enough to vote against Trump's cruelty. It is further proof that this land and all its systems are broken. White supremacy is at the core. Yeah. Leftists Never Trumpers begin compiling lists of Trump supporters. Does this sound familiar to you guys? Yeah? Seems like something another regime from Germany may have done once or twice. And just in case you guys think this isn't real, it really is. Intelligencer, find out which of your friends support Donald Trump. This went all the way back to 2015. It's a Google Chrome extension that alerts you anytime one of your friends likes Donald Trump on Facebook or likes one of his posts, apparently. Then we have the Trump Accountability Project. You guys can't see that. Let me move this around. Remember what they did. We must never forget those who furthered the Trump agenda. We should welcome our fellow Americans with whom we differ politically, but those who took a paycheck from the Trump administration should not profit from their efforts to tear our democracy apart. Blah, 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 blah. We should not allow the following groups of people to profit from their experience. Those who elected him, individuals who worked for the Trump campaign, Republican National Committee, and the affiliated PACs in 2016 or 2020, his government staff, and individuals who used their massive personal wealth and influence to bundle money for Trump. I.e., if you voted for Trump or funded Trump, donated to the Trump campaign, you need to go on a list. Congratulations. That's right. Let's compile a list. And glad.org/Trump. Let's go down here. You can see the list right ahoy. The Trump Accountability Project, TAP, is a resource on the Trump administration which catalogs the anti-LGBTQ plus $ hashtag minus semicolon statements and actions of President Donald Trump and those in his circle. It also includes other harmful rhetoric, discriminatory actions, and exclusionary worldviews of the Trump administration. They publish it to equip journalists to hold the administration accountable for their words and actions. Where do you guys think this goes? Where do you guys see this ending up? Let's say, for the sake of avoiding a civil conflict, Trump sees the writing on the wall and concedes. Do you think this stops? I don't think it stops. Do you think they halt? No. There's a lot of people like the Lincoln Project who have made a lot of money off of being anti-Trump. Do you think they're just going to give up that money and give up being anti-Trump? No, we've already seen Trumpism. The people who voted for Trump, 71 million of them need to be held accountable. 71 million people voted for Trump. 75 voted against him. What do we say to this? How do we avoid conflict with these people? And I don't mean conflict in the sense of social media bickering. I mean conflict in the sense of guns pulled on each other, violence in the streets, and socio-political violent actions, i.e. riots, fighting between politicized groups like BLM and the Proud Boys. How do we avoid that? Because I don't see a way to do it. And that's if Trump loses, if he concedes defeat. Can you imagine the chaos that's going to come if he just wins? If he litigates his way to victory? There is an entire media apparatus currently that is so intent on Joe Biden winning that they won't even talk about. And I've watched them for days now. They will not even talk about the fact that Donald Trump is challenging this in court, and the Bush v. Gore precedent says this could totally be a complete clusterfuck that gets unraveled in court and Trump comes away with a win. Is the chance there? The chance is there. I don't think it's the best option. I think Trump winning an election via litigation is a dangerous precedent to set. Number one, it's a dangerous precedent to set just for the democracy we have. It sets a precedent that if you don't like the election results, you can just delay it and litigate your way to victory, or delay it long enough to have it pushed to the Supreme Court or the House. However, assuming that that's not the worst thing that happens, we now have an entire swath of the population that's celebrating in the streets. We have an entire swath of the population that will have to accept that the decision made by our courts and our government is that Donald Trump won. Where does that lead? Because that's not going to lead to 75 million happy people. And unless Donald Trump just gives up, you have 71 million unhappy people at his loss. A third of the country, either way, is going to see this as some sort of personal slight. And that part of the country is going to be angry. Very, very angry. I'd stay prepared, boys and girls. I got an offer in on my house today, so tomorrow or the next day I might have the house under contract, which means I can go back to making 2 of these a day. But for now, we're just gonna stick with 1 a day until things settle. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay prepared.